So here we are in a hotel room in Las Vegas. We just got out of the pool, and today's the day of our recipient B's transfer, or not transfer, I can't even think. Pregnancy test, beta test, and I think, as you can probably tell by my reaction, it wasn't good. Robert's here too. Why don't you get in the video? She had a chemical. She had a chemical. I'm actually shocked. I'm like completely shocked because I just felt like I had really strong embryos. I mean, out of this batch, we put one in, we put VN in, and she stuck right away. And there wasn't even a doubt in my mind that she would stick. And so now this one doesn't stick when it was a pretty decent embryo. And you're just like, well, is it the embryo? Is it something off with something with her? Like, I don't want to, obviously not ever her fault, but like, is there something the doctor doesn't know, you know? Like, her beta was 3.5. She said she took a pregnancy test this morning and it was like a completely faint line, so she knew she's had a chemical before after she had her daughter. And so she basically like waited till after her results to tell me. And she knew I was in Vegas, so she was all like hesitant to tell me, so she didn't want me to ruin my trip. And I was like, oh God, don't even worry about that. But this brings back a lot of feelings from when we had our chemical, because both times we were so confident. Who's calling you? What a time to get a phone call.
Hello?
Both times we were so confident, and she was confident. She was saying that she felt pregnant, like she felt her like uterus doing things. So, but obviously she was a little bit pregnant for a little while, because that's what a chemical is. But it didn't stick. And I don't know why. And the first question I asked was, I feel like we've gone through this already, but are your tubes okay? Because I knew that was my problem. Didn't know what at the time I had the chemical, but after I knew. And she said, yeah, her tubes are fine. And then I was like, how can it not be a good embryo? It's a PGS tested. God, this is literally exactly the thoughts I had with our chemical. Like, just wanting to like hit your head against a wall because you don't understand. Wow, talk about rehashing old memories here. My God. But I'm just devastated for her. And she's like, you know, crying on the phone because she's like apologizing to us. And I'm just like, do not apologize. Like, if anything, I'm sorry for even feeling like this was going to work, just getting your hopes up. Like, you know, like, but of course, but the problem is you have to go into it thinking it's going to work, because if you don't, why would you even do it? You know, you can't go in there being like, this isn't going to work. So she's going to have a talk with her doctor, kind of like a after meeting. Again, another thing I remember having to do, where you kind of just sit down and discuss the next steps moving forward. There's a few small things they think they can try, but nothing that's gonna nothing that sounds super promising to me. I just hope that was just a bad embryo somehow, and the next one, which is a girl, would stick. She already has a girl, so they were really hoping for a boy, but I know how that kind of disappointment goes too. But it always works out in the end. As long as you get your baby, like, the gender really doesn't end up mattering, if mattering is a word. I just feel bad and horrible. I feel horrible for them. It's like, and you feel kind of responsible too, right? Because it's my embryo from me. Us, I should say. Okay, on to the next one. I guess this is the world of infertility. It stings. Even when it's not going to be your baby, it still stings. So guys. I'll keep you posted on when the next transfer is going to happen, and hopefully it's a much better outcome. So, hi again. I wanted to give another update now that some time has passed and we've had an opportunity to kind of, I don't know, not have things be so fresh, had time to process the news and see what's going to happen moving forward. I got some more updates from the recipient family. They said that they're going to get a second opinion because they felt like their RE was kind of just brushing this off as just an embryo issue. Since she already has a child, he said that, everything should be fine. It should just be an embryo problem, nothing wrong with you. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, that may not necessarily be true. And then I was talking to a friend of mine who did IVF, and she had kind of a similar experience where she got pregnant and then she had a chemical and then she got pregnant again. But after that chemical, they did more testing, even though she'd already had a baby. She says, why am I having a chemical pregnancy? That doesn't make sense to me. So they did additional testing. She did some hysteroscopy, I think it's called. So basically some kind of, I don't know exactly what it entails, but it's basically taking a look in your uterus, checking for polyps, things like that. And they found some polyps. She had those removed, and then she had a successful pregnancy after that. So it's, you can never know 100% for sure if that was the cause of the chemical, but it's something you want to investigate. I mean, especially when you only have one embryo left, you want to do whatever it is you can do to increase your chances. And if that means a little bit of extra testing, even if it seems like unnecessary or over the top, like if you feel like that's really what you want to do, then you got to get a doctor that's going to take you seriously. So I shared that story with the recipient mom, and she was like, yeah, I totally agree. We are going to get a second opinion already and blah, blah. So that hasn't happened yet. I'm not exactly sure when it will, but I think it's going to be soon, because I know that they really want to try again right away. And so we'll see if there's anything that this doctor recommends. So yeah, just a little bit more investigating into this situation, which I wholeheartedly agree with, because my first initial reaction was, oh my God, I thought it was a good embryo. And the more I thought about it, the more it just reminded me of my situation where I was just, not accepting the fact that I just had bad embryos, as some doctors just like to say. And it turns out that that wasn't the issue. So now I'm like, okay, this could be the same thing again. So I totally am happy that she's getting a second opinion and hopefully doing some more testing just to rule everything out, that it could, possibly be something with her. That's the first update. The second update, and I actually got this news just a few days after I got, the bad news about the chemical, that my other recipient family, this was the very first one I talked to, so I've referred to them as recipient family A in other videos, but they got news that they're using a surrogate. They already knew that, but the news was that she got medically cleared and they just needed to go through the legal process, and so her transfer should be scheduled sometime in July or early August at the latest, they said. So that's exciting. Although I was like, the wind kind of got taken out of my sails with this other one, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to tell her that it didn't work, because she knew that the transfer had happened, because we're all going to have, pretty good communication and keeping each other all in the loop about what's going on. And so I didn't want to have to be like, that's so awesome, by the way, the other embryo didn't stick. That was hard. But we talked over text, and I just told her, and she took the news like a champ. It doesn't even seem like it affected her at all. She was so positive. She was so excited, and she was talking, about what was going to happen once all the babies were born, like, just super positive. And I was just like, wow, that's refreshing. That's good. Okay. Like, that helps me like get my mindset back on track too. But if it all works out the way the way I'm thinking the timing will, we could have 2 transfers happening at the same time, because by the time any other testing happens and, whatever with the other couple, they'll probably be ready to transfer July, August as well. That's my estimate. Wow, yeah, we could have two happening at the same time, and now I'm gonna be like on pins and needles. Like I'm going to die. That's gonna be like the craziest time ever. I'm just gonna be like so stressed out for both of these families. Like, oh. But if both of them stick, and I freaking hope they do, but if both of them stick, that'd be so fun to just be having them like simultaneously, like going through pregnancies and having babies. And oh my God, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a riot. Like that would be like best case scenario. That'd be so fun. So yeah, we're just gonna try this again with couple B, try it for the first and only time with couple A. But yeah, so if there's nothing like really newsworthy to share, then the next thing we'll be talking about is the next embryo transfers, and hopefully something positive that comes from them. So all right guys, talk to you later.